certainly think it should be the state's responsibility to do many of the things that the state has offloaded. And I think the collapse of, the collapse in recent days of Carillion has demonstrated the folly of privatising public services, losing the experience, putting lots of people's jobs at risk, putting private sector subcontractors at risk, but still having to actually pick up the bill at the end of the day. It would be so much better for us to do it. But I also think it's important that we do live the values that we preach, and the work that Deborah's doing up in Lancashire is fantastic.
And Momentum stays local then? It's individual groups, or it's a kind of centralised campaign?
Well, it's both. We've got local groups that do things on the ground, that work in elections, that campaign in their communities and in their workplaces, and at a national level, we try and provide the backup and support. We develop digital tools. We mobilise people to do the things that we need to achieve.
So let's look ahead then, because Momentum-backed councillors could shortly be the dominant voice on Haringey Council come May. If you have that push behind you, how radical would the change be there? What would you like to see? I mean, you mentioned the failure of Carillion. Would you like to see then an end to the public-private partnerships currently underway, the development of that big estate, which is going on now between Land Lease and the council?
Well, look, first of all, I actually don't accept that it's going to be a Momentum council. I think there'll be no more than 17...
You're going to have a strong voice, that's all I'm saying.
We'll have a strong voice, yes. But, it is a Labour council now, and it will remain a Labour council now. But I think that the Lend-Lease deal, I can understand in the past why Labour councils might have thought you need to do those kind of deals as perhaps the only option. But I think we could be only months away from a Corbyn government. I think we've got a much greater opportunity.
So how strong will you be then? Will you say, if you have this voice now, will you say, I don't want to see any more public-private partnerships on the council? I don't want, let's take Manchester, Labour-run council in Manchester. I don't want to see those deals anymore. Will you actually feel able to tell those Labour councils what to do?
I think the great thing that we have achieved as a result of Jeremy's election as leader of the Labour Party is that we can actually voice what most members of the Labour Party always believed, which is that, the state can do good things. The state has been slagged off by, unfortunately, too many politicians across the spectrum over the last 30 years. And we can...
But just going back to that then, I mean, you are the radical man, right? You are the chairman of Momentum. So let me take you back to Haringey. Would you like to see public workers' salaries over £60,000 cut?
That isn't a proposal that I'm familiar with. I'm, am I the radical man? I think I'm the mainstream man. Momentum is the new mainstream.
Is that something that you'd like to see?
I think that there is, in many parts of the private sector, a far too great a gap between the top paid and the lowest paid. But that isn't the top priority for me in Haringey. I think we need actually good managers to be able to take public service delivery back in-house.
That's the other one, isn't it? Council tax, I think it's Chris Williamson's idea. Double council tax, a rise in council tax for larger houses, cut it for smaller ones. Where are you? I'm trying to get to the sense of, where's your big idea now? This is your moment. You have come of age and you can start saying, this is our radical plan. This is what we want to see.
We are developing radical plans, and I think a lot of local authorities are, thinking of new ways of delivering public services in the public sector. And that is what I want to see. I don't think that's radical.
Okay.
I think it's now mainstream.
But nothing, no commitment to cut salaries, no commitment to raise council tax for big houses, none of the sort of ideas that have been floated over the past few months.
I want to see us build houses. We've hardly built any houses in Britain for generations.
Everyone wants to see that.
It's
what makes...
Well, you say everyone wants to see that.
Well, it's not...
The Tories might say they want to see that, but they haven't done it at all. And unfortunately, nor did the last Labour government. But I want to see it in the next Labour government.
You've said very clearly that Momentum will not campaign for the deselection of anyone, anywhere at all, I think was your phrase.
Correct.
Do you still feel that there are elements in the PLP that are pulling you away from a Corbyn victory, making that less easy for you?
Look, I am pleased with the new spirit of unity that we saw on the NEC this week, that we, I think, now see in the PLP, that recognises that Jeremy is here to stay, that we are seeking a transformative government.
A quick thought, state visit is now back on, or some kind of visit, working visit for President Trump. Jeremy Corbyn will be meeting Trump when he comes, I assume?
I don't know whether he'll be meeting Trump, but I don't think he will welcome Trump's visit, and I certainly don't welcome Trump's visit, and I think of most people in Britain won't welcome.
Will you protest it? Will you be out there protesting?
I think I will be protesting Trump's visit. Trump is, has shown himself to be a racist, to be completely against what most people in Britain believe in. I think Trump's politics have no place in British society or in the United States.